Take it away, John.
Hey there, Kevin. Thanks so much for having me here. Yes, I know the face does not show 15 years, but that's what happens when you start as a 15-year-old tier one knock. I spent about 15 years in the industry too, focused on Saaslio, but I'm excited here to talk about that, a little bit about myself personally, passionate about the tech community and the MSP community. I give back a lot of my time. I'm all involved into giving back to youth, particularly in educating and alternative education. But that was a great introduction for me, Kevin. We could skip me and move on to why I'm here. Back in the day, when I was in the tier one knock and working up my way in the ranks, I saw this visibility gap. And it was a visibility gap that kind of drove me nuts. Being the younger on the side of the tier one side, I was all adopting into SaaS. I wanted to use all the SaaS and business applications I could, try to automate and innovate as much as possible. But MSPs have zero visibility into it. It's kind of a business problem that has gone unwatched. You know your customers are using it, but you don't know all the problems along it. And we'll get into this in a minute. That's as small as the marketing team would let me put my font on business problems. So we'll jump into them here in a minute. And here's the thing. If you watched Price is Right at noon at any time in your life, you've seen the game Cliffhangers. We're kind of in a cliffhanger scenario. The amount of SaaS apps that were being used when I was in tier one was 8. 8 was the amount of SaaS apps back in 2015 when people were actually leveraging SaaS. That has kept going up, up, and up until we're now at this point where the cliffhanger guy has fallen off. I was told I should yodel, but I really don't think anybody wants to hear me actually yodel online. If you jump in the breakout room, maybe I'll yodel for you. But the amount of apps that somebody's using in 2022 is 136 SaaS apps. It is unmanageable by the individual small, medium business. And here's the thing, everybody's guilty of it. Everybody's guilty of shadow IT. 8 out of the 10 SaaS apps are actually adopted by shadow IT. So line of business leaders making their own decisions, not talking to the MSP. And that's how we get this litany of business problems around it. You end up making Bob Barker sad. Nobody wants to make Bob Barker sad. So talk about managing SaaS with your customers. Here's how it is today. And this is across the industry, not just the MSP I was at. When you're discovering business apps and SaaS apps your customers are using, it's an old onboard form. And that onboard form probably is a SaaS tool, kind of meta in that situation. But the onboard form only captures like 30% of the apps that are being used. You don't do a deep dive with your marketing team and sales team and understand the whole thing. So first, it's inaccurate. Second, it is massively time consuming to sort through the list, put them in Excel, try to sort everything out. Obviously, it's a bad customer experience. As a customer that's hiring you as the MSP, they expect you to be able to come in and take over as much as possible. Another form to fill out kind of makes a bad experience. But really, the most important part is it's missing serious security issues. We'll dig into those in a minute, but shared accounts, generic accounts, file exfiltration risks, all these different behaviors are not caught in an onboard form. And even if you did the magical job of capturing everything, it becomes stale the next day as soon as that marketing intern decides to put business data in another tool. I would not be here if I didn't say I had a solution to it. I'm built from the MSP side of the world. Both of my co-founders come from the MSP side of the world. We all rose through the ranks in tier one together, and we built this to solve the visibility gap that we face. And here's the thing. First, we know we've got to make it easy. So we deploy it via the RMMs or via Intune or any of the technology you have today. You deploy it, and within 7 days, you're going to have beautiful dashboards just like this with stacked ranked issues and things to look at. It can be deployed in the form of an onboard or in the form of an assessment to get to these screens. Next, we collect. Over the first 7 days, we can capture all the sanctioned SaaS and business apps and line of business apps. And over 30 days, we can start to capture the majority of these shadow IT. And the thing about it is, instead of that boring onboard form or during an assessment, you're not asking your customers what you use. You're flipping the paradigm and you're becoming strategic. You're asking them why you use it. Imagine if you could close your eyes and see every software the customer's using. It'd be a long list. Trust me, we have the data to prove it. And then have a list of ways to talk about these things with your customer. That's what we've done for you. We give you a roadmap to resolution on all the SaaS visibility gaps, on all the shared accounts, on all the different things that we've seen. In one of our decks, we have a wall of shame. We don't call out the people, but we've seen 6 file sharing tools in a 30-person company. And it really doesn't matter, by the way, the size of the client, 5-person company, 500-person client company, they all have these things. We see shared accounts, sales trying to get around licenses. We see rogue trial signups, overprivileged admins, high-risk shadow IT. Almost every time we see usage of Dropbox and bots, and those become business continuity problems. And let's not even talk about trying to handle the onboarding and offboard journey of the employees at the customer site when everything is shadow IT. When the number one app that every employee uses, only secondary sometimes to Outlook with our data, is the browser. And so all these business problems are piling up. The yodeler's off the edge of the end, and we're here to try to help solve it. And one more thing, all of our solution is built with automated, beautiful reports to share that the C-suite actually want to see. We have real-time PSA alerts and workflows to build around it. Don't just take our advice. Our partners do love us. I think there's probably a few here in the crowd. We have been growing really rapidly with the growth of our partners. We love you. We love working with you and being a partner. But here's the thing. This is my favorite statement one of our partners has said. It is finally a tool that helps me solve something new that I don't already have 10 other solutions for. I think that should be enough for you to be interested in seeing a demo, see how it can change the way that you're handling the journeys with your customer. Pricing is really super simple. It's just $1 a user a month. Though we have a launch model that we're putting out for just channel program, it gets really dirt cheap. It becomes part of your managed IT bundle. On average, our MSPs are making about 4x investment in the first 3 months while getting all the automations and efficiencies that come along with it. You can monetize it with shadow IT assessments, onboard efficiencies, bundled IT agreements, unlocked project revenue. The unlocked project revenue is something we can't even put into a picture or perspective. There are 15,000 SaaS applications in the ecosystem. You cannot be the expert of all of them. Our partners have pushed us down this journey of solving it. So we have released our MSP VCIO community, where now we have curated 300 best-in-class questions, answers, security concerns, discussion points to talk to your customer about. When you're building your CBR or running an assessment, you can now use these reports or these questions to import into your CBR. And as you have great advice, you can give it back to the community. So the whole community's working together to tackle all these 15,000 SaaS apps out there. Thanks so much. I'm getting the countdown. Join our breakout room to give back. No more tchotchkes. We're just giving back to the community of your choice. Thank you. Bye.